And back again. This is going to be part 2. I wanted to show this part because I think this is neat. So I'm starting at my original base. I'm going to show you where my oil production is and what I've got going on down there. What is neat is this right here is one of the first hypertubes I ever created a long time ago before I even had a jetpack. And I still use it. Like it's one of those, I could probably have built something better, but it's still there. So I just use it, right? And this is my original truck stop that brings in quick wire, plastic, as you can see some's coming in right now, and rubber, only now it goes to a train station. It used to just pile up, and that's why there's so many of these boxes, because I just had quick wire and plastic piling up and I didn't have anything to do with it at the time. It was just piling up, and that's where this awesome sink is here, because I was just throwing it into an awesome sink because I didn't need it, you know? And my fuel here, like, it's finally running low, so when I go back over there, eventually I'll pick up some more fuel, but this was full, and I've kind of waited, like, the whole game, like, a huge amount of time, because the truck doesn't take that much fuel with turbo fuel. And the truck goes all the way down there, and this is, like, my second hypertube that I built, was to get me quickly down here. After I found oil, I went down here, I think in the original game, in the original area, underneath this pass over here, I had to make my first, like, bombs and, like, blow up something to get through here and then make this truck route. So it's kind of cool. I still use this because it's a quick way to get back that I created for myself because I was running back and forth. And this is still my original first truck stop. There's the sulfur that's producing for compacted coal. And here we go. This gets me down to where I actually need to go. There's the train that delivers the plastic and stuff. You can see these lines over here originally where before the train I just had humongous ass conveyors teleporting everything down there. Or not teleporting, but slowly walking everything down. That's that line right there. There was this huge giant conveyor system bringing all my plastic and stuff up from over there. So now we'll start over here. This used to be where I produced compacted coal for what used to be power generators, actually, right around there. Coal generators that are now gone. I did dismantle those because I needed the space. I'm still doing compacted coal. Actually, originally it was just coal, like coal from here and water from here. There are still 3 power generators back in this corner that are still running. No, they're not running, but they're just there because, like, I didn't turn them off. I guess I could. I mean, I could probably turn them back on with coal and water, but, like, I don't need it. They don't produce electricity that warrants it. But I do need the compacted coal. So these coal over here is sent up there with the sulfur combined compact coal sent back down here. I finally got nitrogen gas, so that up there was like my first nitrogen well. It's pumped down into here, and this produces these fuse modular frames, which I need for that nuclear pasta. So what I set up down here, because the aluminum is all the way on the other side of the map, and this needs aluminum casings, and this needed nitrogen gas. And this also needs nitrogen gas. Here I'm producing cooling systems. So I have a drone that comes over here. It drops off aluminum casings over there, and it drops off heavy modular frames to go over there for that part. It also drops off heat sinks, which are being made at the other side of the base. Apparently too slow, but it drops off heat sinks that are made from aluminum here, produces cooling systems, and then those extra fuse frames and the cooling systems route back into the drone. So when the drone goes back, it brings back fused frames and cooling systems. So kind of like I transport materials over here, use the gas over here, put it back. I do have to fill this thing up with rubber, but it uses so little rubber that, like, I just fill it up once in a great while. It's like, what is it? 12 per minute, and they're stacks of 200, so 10, 20, a couple hours, maybe once a play session I have to go in and fill it. Then the nitric acid. Remember I said it was being unboxed over here? This drone comes over here. This drone drops off, he brings back those empty bottles. He drops off nitric acid, apparently infinite amount of it. not infinite, but a ton. This unbottler here unbottles it into nitric acid. I rerouted, so these were all turbo fuel before, because all those power generators were fuel. I rerouted it, so now the turbo fuel is being pumped into here with the nitric acid, and its rocket fuel is produced. I probably have too much of it. I could probably put a bunch more. I mean, I'm going to need the power, so I could probably connect more power to it. But again, I just set this up recently. Just got this going for the first time. It also produces one compacted coal, and I was like sending it back around, and I was like, it's too much. I'm just gonna put it over here into this sink. I don't care. It takes 30 megawatts to eat one compacted coal. I don't care. 30 megawatts is not much at this point. So anyway, so I kind of redirected. So I'm still sending the turbo fuel over here into this buffer, and I'm still sending it to here because it is still being made into packaged turbo fuel, because I have some other generators back at the main base with the bauxite that I use for aluminum that are actually also running on turbo fuel, because I just had so much turbo fuel I needed a sink for it. And a lot of my trucks still run on turbo fuel. My normal jetpack, when I'm not flying around with my own electricity with this hover pack, runs on turbo fuel. So that's remained untouched. This area, I fixed it so that it produces plastic. It uses the polymer resin that it gets from here, from the crude oil producing regular fuel. I'm producing way more fuel than I need to produce way more turbo fuel than I need, because I could probably update generators. But again, I originally had the counts for this and they were different. Things have changed, so I have to go back in and kind of fix that. Like, it looks like these turbo fuel, like turbo fuel is filled up. I could probably produce more rocket fuel. I could produce more generators. So I could fill this whole lake with just power generators if I want to. But yeah, so I converted a lot of these now are running on rocket fuel. These 4 are still running on regular fuel because plastic, and I think this is rubber. Yeah, these are rubber production, which I've been meaning to change back to plastic, but it doesn't matter. Actually, I'm going to change one of them back to plastic right now. Oh. Wow. He was really angry at me. Anyway. This oil well and then some oil from down there also produces... this produces like heavy oil residue, which I have kind of sitting in these tanks, and that heavy... Oh, I have so much of it. And that heavy oil residue comes into here, producing fuel, and that fuel goes into these generators. And I actually kind of, I overclocked these generators because I was producing so much fuel. Maybe I'll just overclock this one too. I had the counts right at one point in time, but I seem to be producing, like, I have a ton of extra fuel here. A ton of extra fuel here. And I'm not producing it, so it's backing up here. So this is kind of what happens over time. Things back up, and you got to figure it out. Because, again, counting is great, but I don't know, different story. Anyway, this is a ton of my power generation. For a while before nuclear, this was all of my power generation. It was just all these generators. I don't know if the haze out here, I want to say, I feel like I could just be crazy. I don't know, I don't quite remember if this area was always this hazy, but like part of me wants to say that like it's this hazy because of pollution, because it feels right to me, and I don't remember it being this hazy. But I don't actually know if that's like a thing in the game. It'd be kind of cool if it was, because, you know, it was a smog generation of forever. That is a geyser power plant. I have a couple of them in the area. When I found geysers, they produce like a random amount of electricity. Like, they produce some, and then as the geyser goes, they produce more. So they're not really reliable. They just kind of add to the grid. The turbo fuel also that I'm still producing down there in these packages comes up to this truck. This is the fuel truck that I showed you before with bauxite, where the fuel truck drives all the way down just to fuel another truck and to get fuel back to my main base. So it's kind of like a fuel truck that drops off fuel to fuel another truck to get back to the main base. So far, that's all I've kind of done in this area. I just got rocket fuel up and running. I'm my aluminum production is not good enough, I don't think now, to be able to start bottling rocket fuel. So for now, the rocket fuel is just used for these generators, and I keep producing more. So there's this huge open space here that I can kind of, I think, add more generators if I need to. Like I could do a whole line on the side as I get more rocket fuel. And yeah, so this eventually will probably change. I mean, generation probably not, but like I'll probably add more generators just to use the fuel and maybe find a way to bottle it. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see how things will change. And this is my second area of the base, and I will see you again with an update for like my third kind of area, and then who knows?